Alrighty, guys, I went a perfect 5-0 my personal plays on my website yesterday. And the only way you could have accessed every one of those winners is become a board member on that site at patreon.com/BrockPage. Board members get access to every single personal play, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just $1.66 a day. And I'll tell you what, at an average of 4 to 6 plays a day, you're looking at roughly just 33 cents per play, give or take. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these games from these free videos that I'm actually playing personally, my personal plays. Now, guys, we currently have over 505 members who are signed up and active on that site right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Thunder at the Sixers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Philadelphia is the 10-point favorite. Total's 231.5. And even though the Sixers have been playing some real good basketball lately, I'm not a huge fan of this double-digit point spread. These guys failed to cover recently against the likes of Chicago, Indiana, and Washington. They're also having a tough time offensively in the Wells Fargo Center. These guys are in the bottom 5 in home offensive boards. Now, they're also scoring fewer points a game at home than most clubs in the Eastern Conference. They're facing an OKC squad who covered in 4 out of their last 5 themselves. And when it comes to getting on the scoreboard, OKC's had little issue getting buckets this year. They're currently in the top 10 in the NBA in scoring. And they're grabbing more offensive boards a game than most clubs in the West. Josh Giddey's snatching 8 rebounds a night. He's also second on the roster in scoring. And of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he leads the club with over 30.5 points a night. Now, injury-wise, Pokusevski, Robinson Earl, and Deng are all still out. When it comes to the total, the Thunder went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Philly saw their last 5 straight at the Wells Fargo Center get over the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma City plus 10, keeping that one close, over 231.5. Next matchup, it is going to be Celtics at the Nets, 7:30 Eastern start time. Boston's the 3-point favorite, totals 228. Now, Boston won their last 4 straight, and they also got the W in 8 out of their last 10. When it comes to offensive production, not many teams are scoring more points a game than these guys. Boston currently finds themselves in the top 3 in the NBA right now in offensive points per game. Jason Tatum averages a team-high 30 points a night. He's also grabbing 8 rebounds. Meanwhile, Malcolm Brogdon's drilling nearly 44% of his three-pointers. Now, they're facing a Brooklyn squad who failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Boston. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. When it comes to grabbing rebounds, well, the Nets are one of the worst to do it. They're grabbing fewer defensive boards at home than most clubs in the East. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of things, these guys are nearly dead last in the entire NBA in offensive boards per game as well. Now, injury-wise, Durant is out. Claxton is questionable. Meanwhile, for Boston on the other side, Marcus Smart is questionable for them. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Boston's last 4 on the road did get over the number. Meanwhile, Brooklyn saw overs recently against the likes of San Antonio, Cleveland, and Golden State. I'm going to lean toward Boston, -3, over 228. Next ball game, it is going to be Hornets at the Raptors, 7:30 Eastern start time. Toronto's -8 at home, totals 232. Now, I don't think the Raptors are doing enough on offense to take care of this number. Toronto's currently in the bottom 5 in the league in home scoring. They're also amongst the worst shooting teams in the game right now. Toronto finds themselves in the bottom 3 in offensive field goal percentage. They also have a lower 3-point percentage than any other team in the NBA except for one. They're facing a Charlotte team on the other side who has little issue putting up points on the road. These guys average nearly $1.15 a night while traveling. They're also in the top 5 in the league in road offensive boards. Now, Mason Plumlee, he grabs nearly 7 rebounds a night. He's also averaging double-digit points a game. Of course, LaMelo Ball, he scores a team-high 23 points a night himself. Now, injury-wise, Hayward's questionable. Oubre's out. When it comes to the numbers, Charlotte's 15-8 to the over in their road trips. Meanwhile, Toronto's gone 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean towards Charlotte plus 8 over 232. Next contest, it is going to be Bucks Heat, 7:30 East. Miami's -3 at home, totals 217. Now, the banged-up Heat, they've certainly had their issues offensively this year. These guys are in the bottom 3 in offensive boards per contest. And no real surprise here, guys. Miami scoring fewer points a game than any other club in the NBA. They're facing a Milwaukee team who's hard enough to score against as it is. These guys are in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage, so they don't need any more help on the defensive end of the court, especially going up against the lowest scoring team in the game. And I'll tell you what, the Bucks currently have the lowest defensive three-point percentage on the road in the entire NBA as well. Now, offensively, Giannis Antetokounmpo averages 31 points a game along with nearly a dozen boards. Meanwhile, Brook Lopez is drilling nearly 40% of his three-pointers. Now, injury-wise, Middleton and Ibaka are still out. Grayson Allen is questionable. Meanwhile, for Miami, Haslam and Adebayo are questionable for them. Lowry, Dedmon, Robinson, Hero, Martin, Yurtseven, and Jovic, they are all out. Now, total-wise, Miami went 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Milwaukee went 14-6 to the under in their travels. I'm going to lean toward the Bucks plus 3, under 217. Next matchup, it is going to be Cavs, Blazers, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Cleveland's the 3-point favorite on the road, totals 221.5. Now, Cleveland's giving up fewer points per contest than any other team in the NBA. They're also leading the league in road defensive boards. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they're averaging nearly double-digit rebounds a night, respectively. Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell scores a team-high 29 points a game himself. He's also drilling 40% of his three balls. Now, they're facing a Portland squad who lost their last 4 straight. They failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10. When it comes to offensive production, these guys certainly have had their issues at times. They're currently in the bottom 10 in points per game. Now, defensively, the Blazers have really struggled guarding the three-pointer as well. These guys have a higher defensive three-point percentage at home than any other team in the league except for 3. Now, injury-wise, Lillard and Payton are questionable. Winslow and Little are out. Meanwhile, for Cleveland on the other side, Rubio's questionable for them. Wade is out as well. When it comes to the total in this one, Cleveland saw unders recently against the likes of Chicago and Phoenix twice. Meanwhile, Portland went 80% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Cleveland, -3, under 221.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It is going to be Mavs at the Lakers, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Dallas is -3.5, totals 233. Now, the Mavs have struggled recently. They've actually lost 3 out of their last 4. They've had a tough time covering the point spread recently. Out of their last 10 ball games, the Mavs, they covered only 3 times. When it comes to playing on the road, not many teams in the West are worse than these guys traveling. Dallas currently has a win percentage of just .350 away from home. They're facing a Laker team on the other side who won 5 out of their last 6. They certainly play their best basketball at home. LA's averaging 118 points a night in their own arena. They also have one of the higher team field goal percentages in the Western Conference. Now, LeBron James, he's making 51% of his field goal attempts. He's also scoring nearly 30 points a game. Of course, that is a team best. Now, Russell Westbrook, he's averaging over 15 points a night himself. When it comes to the injury report, AD, Lonnie, and Austin Reeves are all still out. Patrick Beverley's also listed as questionable with an injury as well. Meanwhile, for Dallas on the other side, Finney-Smith, Kleba, and Green are still out for them. Dwight Powell is also questionable. Now, when it comes to the total, the Mavs went 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, LA saw 6 out of their last 10 get over the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Lakers plus 3.5, over 233. With that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. OKC plus 10 over 231.5. Boston -3 over 228. Charlotte plus 8 over 232. One final reminder, guys, I went a perfect 5-0 in my 5 personal plays on my website yesterday. And the only way you could have accessed all of those plays is to be a board member on patreon.com/BrockPage. Give me Milwaukee +3 under 217. Cleveland -3 under 221.5. With my next and final free pick, I'm going to lean toward the Lakers +3.5 over 233. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage. And just a reminder, guys, if you do end up signing up for a package here today, you're going to get access to that membership for the next 30 days. And of course, as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I say board members get access to every single play, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just $1.66 a day. And at an average of 4 to 6 personal plays per day, you're looking at roughly 33 cents a pick over the course of that 30-day span. Certainly good value. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on this free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.